at the airports. So he's here. Sir, welcome.
I begin with the name of Allah, the most merciful. Total communications and everybody sitting here. A very fine good morning to all of you, all the remote participants of the conference. I was just sharing with Faisal last night on a dinner that in this hotel, in 2004, very important to tell you the year, 2004. हाँ जी इको रही है भाई ज़रा ये देख लें टेक्नोलॉजी इको रही है अच्छा we invited Mr. Bruchner. I was heading that organization FI at that time, and he charged us $10,000. We invited Mr. Bruchner. I'm thankful to to my friend at that time who paid $10,000 to Bruchner at 2004, and he was here. Right now, he's advisor to the US President on cybersecurity. So 16 years before, we started from Bruchner here. And today we are again discussing cybersecurity. Really, it's very strange to me. So these 16 years is a big time for me. It's a big time. So today, I think we are going to discuss, I think this is all what people know about me. I headed the NR3 as a founding head. I am doing a lot of things, but I am really proud of, with reference to cybersecurity, initiative on PISA. PISA is my passion, Pakistan Information Security Association, the oldest organization in Pakistan, and the entire world knows about it now. And the recent new initiative, CSAP, Cybersecurity Alliance of Pakistan. In Karachi, I was asked that why you switched from PISA to CSAP. I said I never switched. I'm trying to run these both simultaneously. Reason being, PISA in one way or the other was labeled with me. This is Ammar Jaffri's initiative. Trust you me, I never wanted it. Anything which is labeled with a person never survives. So I came with the idea of alliance, and I'm really thankful to at least 1,000 people in Pakistan who are helping us. And most of them are abroad also. All those who are listening to me from abroad, I'm really thankful to them. Without them, it was not possible. Because, just give you an example, I think a week before, government approached us for some help, and in 10 minutes, the help was given to the government. I think it was 1 a.m. in the night. This is the strength of CSAP, and I'm really proud of it. So, I am heading ISACA chapter also. I'm trying to do something under Digital Pakistan. I call it E-Pakistan. All about me. Next, please. Next, please. Oh, sorry, I have to control it. Sorry. So today we are talking about cyber threat intelligence. You know, I served a quite long time in the field of intelligence, 2 decades. So I'll try to club the basic rules of intelligence collection with cyber threat intelligence. What is the basic rule of intelligence collection? You collect raw information, total raw information. From that raw information, you collect meaningful information. Then you identify patterns, and you give it to your decision makers for taking the decisions. So this is the basic rule of intelligence collection. And I did it for 20 years for this country. So now I will try to link the cyber threat intelligence with this basic principles of intelligence collection. You know, the basic principles never change. They never change. Now, technology has given us an advantage in which information is coming to us. We don't need to collect it. There are 2 ways of getting information. Either you pull it or you push it. So information is coming to us. And it's coming with the speed of bullets from the machine gun. It has become hard to even manage information. So, previously we used to collect information about criminals, what they are doing. I still remember the days of when we used to chase cars, we used to track people in their houses. There was a person, a vendor standing outside the ambassador's residence, seeing which vehicle is coming, which is going. Now you need a gadget of, I think, less than $2 to do all these things. That's it. Now, the big challenge to all of us is how to fusion it, how to make patterns out of it, how to analyze data. There comes the artificial intelligence, there comes the data analytics. So we have to make an ecosystem, a framework in which all could work together. Very painfully, very senior people, vice chancellors are sitting here, the experts are sitting here, we are in a number of committees together. On a daily basis, we always go to the government, we always go to the organization and tell them to work together. But nobody is ready to work together. These silos, these isolated center of excellence are not going to give anything to anyone. In the end, we will end up by blaming each other. Trust you me. So, I think the collective wisdom demands that we should come out of the traditional way of working together. To my understanding, when I will try to close up this session, maybe immediately before lunch, there should be some meaningful dialogue. Meaningful dialogue. I request the youth sitting here, learn from us before we are no more available. It is very important to work together, to talk together. We may have differences. I may have differences with anybody. I enjoy differences. Trust you me, I like the person who criticizes me because he thinks on me. He read whatever I say. Only then he will criticize me. And trust you me, people in CSAP knows very well, I invite criticism. Not negative criticism. The moment you start criticizing a person in his personality, I think your rationale is gone. You should criticize the person, his ideas, his views, then things grow further. आसिफ साहब आपने मुझे 2 मिनट पहले बताना है मैं कब खत्म करना है ये बड़ी ज़रूरी बात है मेरे लिए Sorry. We had internet in the past. That is a gone story now. We have internet today, and inshallah we'll have internet in the future. I think past and today everybody knows. Let's talk about the future. To my understanding, you may again disagree with me. I was in Karachi, a lot of people sitting over there. The Commissioner Karachi Sahab was there, MNAs were there, entire FPCCI was there. I think large people were listening to me on the Zoom also. I told them that in next maximum 2 to 3 years, if our industry will not switch over to IR 4.0, your industry will start closing down. It will close down gradually, but it will start closing down. And finally, things will go out of proportion. The reason is, the new trends have already come. We are already late. Already we are late. I do not understand, rather I fail to understand, when we will take a start on these things. Today, when people are thinking about, our Prime Minister is talking about IR 5.0. Or recently said we should, people are not ready to even listen to IR 4.0. Trust you me, we totally skipped IR 3.0. Azhar Sahab is sitting here, he is expert on these things, and I learn from him a lot. But again, the challenge is when we start even discussing it. So I will request all the panelists here listening to me remotely also, that they should try. I think we should stop talking about intrusion detection or torsions and all. They are past. These hardware, software, we should talk about threats to our industry now. Think for a minute, in Chalcode, a person invested $1 million for some industry. And I, as a hacker, hacked the system. That's it. I'm not telling the stories. I think 10 years before, what happened in Iran? I think that was a starting point. That was a starting point of protecting your industrial units. So right now, our industrial units are already ready to take jump. Already ready. Most of them started it, they are talking about it. So I will request the panelists to talk cybersecurity, not in a traditional way. We should talk about proactive cybersecurity. Era of reactive is gone now. All things which translate into forensics, I'm sorry, forensic is post. I am no more interested in digital forensics now, because in digital, alhamdulillah, I have the honor of establishing all mega forensic labs in Pakistan. But no, I am not more, because forensics is something which you do after the event. I am not interested in it now. We should today talk about at least proactive approach. We should exactly know what's going to happen after 1 month in this organization. What is predictive maintenance in IR 4.0? Your supervisor doesn't tell you. Your cell phone tells you that your machine is going to down after 3 days if you don't do this. That's it. So on the same analogy, if somebody is intruding in my system, if somebody is pinging me at 2 a.m. in the night, and my whatever SOC in charge tells me what's happening, I must alert. Why this particular IP address is, either it is spoofed, not spoofed, anything. Talk about it. Second, I would request the panelists to talk about the changing paradigm on the basic infrastructure of internet. Ladies and gentlemen, blockchain is not a use case of internet, like we had many use cases. It's a fundamental of internet now. If we do not talk about cybersecurity, keeping blockchain in mind, trust to me, we are doing again a big mistake. So I will request the panelists to talk about blockchain. It's already there. You can't change it now, because all your fintech, everything is now blinking. And it took me 5 years to convince some organizations in this country that there's a difference between blockchain and cryptocurrency. 5 years. It was a very tiring journey for me. But alhamdulillah, I'm very happy, and I'm thankful to the organizations who listened to me. But today, I think SECP has already issued some documentary on taking these issues, and now State Bank is talking about it, relevant organizations are talking about it, and I think we should start academic talk. But cybersecurity using artificial intelligence, IoT, on the platform of blockchain is a big game changer now. Unless we do not understand in its totality, trust you me, we are again going to mess up a lot of things. It's like defining the elephant. 4 blind men trying to define the elephant. So again, it needs a pyramid-like approach, which should start from the grassroots in very simple words. We need to engage our universities. Vice Chancellor Bhavalpur University is sitting here. I would request him to start this dialogue from Bhavalpur. And as I told you before also, we are ready to bring all these people there in your university. And I think universities are the best place to discuss all these things. Ladies and gentlemen, future leaders are there. We are not future leaders of Pakistan. Future leaders are right now studying universities. Unless we do not think to invest on them, we are again doing some mistake. So we should start all these discussions in universities. Data transformation and security of internet has a direct implication. Everybody is talking about digital Pakistan, and they should talk about it. I told at that time the Secretary IT, I think a few years before, when this word came for the first time, don't put this name on one organization. Otherwise, there will be only NAB and FIA cases in the future. That's it. This country has seen the disasters. Salman Saeed is sitting here. We attended plus 100 meetings together on this subject. This country has seen disasters in information technology. Trust you me, 3 times in this country, the equipment of data center was imported, and it was never opened even. So I do not want to repeat the sad story of the past. That makes me sad also. I want to remain happy. So data transformation and security of internet is a big challenge now. If we are thinking about digital health, digital education, whatever we call it, we should first try to make internet secure. You know, one hacking, like when the trouble in Karachi started, I was serving the government of Pakistan. Trust you me, I went to the senior most political leader of that time, and I told him, the gentleman, one bullet fired in chalk will think 100 people to think to go out of Karachi. Do everything what you like. Do everything what you like. I'm not a politician. But to try to stop firing here, killing people here. It was upside down. I'm sorry. Nobody listened to me. So today we saw a lot of cities much below standard of Karachi, much going ahead of Karachi today. The reason is, so in the same analogy, if there will be cyber attacks, if there would be intrusions, if there will not be the respect for the privacy, intellectual property, trust you me, we cannot see we can never see the dream of a digital Pakistan. Same analogy. So we should think about, in parallel, when we talk about digital transformation, we have a lot of dreams. We have a lot of dreams. And I think every nation has a right to see dreams, and our dreams should come true. But again, I will not go into details. I would like the panelists to talk about it. What is the relationship between digital transformation in Pakistan and cybersecurity in Pakistan? SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. This is the next roadmap of the world. And I am heading an organization, SDG Academy of Pakistan, and we talk a lot on these subjects now. The reason, because this encompasses everything we can think. The initial 5 SDGs talk about the basic human needs, then their cross-cuttings. It's not a SDG seminar, so I will not go into details. But one thing I can assure, that in 2025, only 5 years ahead down the road now, the world will be divided into 2 parts. Mark my words. The people, the organizations, the countries who conform to SDGs, and those who did not conform to SDGs. Because the era from 2025 to 2030, which is the UN given timeline, is not the era of working. It is the era of consolidation. Global, what is SDG 17? Global linkages. So in those 5 years, there will be global. It covers everything. I would like to stress here, the panelists should talk about SDG 9 and SDG 11, because the rest are not relevant to this conference. What is SDG 9? Innovation infrastructures. It exactly says what we are talking about IR 4.0. Exactly. Right? And 11 is smart cities, anything we can talk smart about. And it talks about putting an ecosystem linking 9 with 11. We are working with a number of international organizations on 9 and 11, and we can talk about it in detail whenever we like. There has been a very close relationship between the traditional criminals and the cyber criminals. Reason being, just think for the first industrial revolution, 230 years before. What happened? There was some new things in Europe, in London. So the entire criminal population of the Europe came to London. You know, I was working with some organization in UK, and they told me that the first street light of London is the product of Industrial Revolution. Even this word constable, whatever we call it, Inspector General Police here, they call it Chief Constable. Even the word constable is the product of Industrial Revolution 1. There was no policing before that in UK. So, what happened? Something new came, and the criminals thought the opportunity here. They're always fast learners. Double Shah, I don't know how many people know him. He was a very genius person. I met him. I interviewed him when he was in custody. He was a genius person. And trust you me, he told me that don't arrest me, I'll pay the amount also. Don't arrest me. But we were bound to arrest him. So the criminals are genius people. They always take advantage of the change. Today, there's a complete nexus of traditional criminals, whether they're human trafficking, drug peddlers, anything you talk about, and the cyber criminals. I am heading the technology section of very big initiatives. I'm proud of it, and that is led by my ex-boss, Mr. Tariq Khosa and Tariq Parvez. There are two bosses. I served very honorably in FIA, and I'm working with them. And we are working very closely on this topic, that how to keep them separate. And that is my domain. So, traditional criminals have joined hand with the dark world, deep dark world, dark web, anything you talk about. And they are not working 24/7. They don't sleep even. I happened to work with a criminal sometime back. We arrested him in Karachi. I kept him awake for 4 days. And after 4 days, he was very fresh. Trust me, a normal man would have died. But he was, yeah, I'm very fresh. They're totally different breed of people. I have been visiting number of dens, what you call, where the people work in some covered naturally. So they're different people. But right now, my worry is that the traditional criminals have joined hand, and that is a logical relationship. It's a logical relationship, I must call. They are using the internet for the same purpose we are using it. It's their business, it's their bread and butter, it's their organizations. And they do not have any diplomacy. There is no diplomatic office there. They don't need to talk to each other globally through some bureaucratic channels. On a click of a button, they are available to each other. So, dark side of internet is much, much more ahead what you guys are thinking. It's very organized. They can buy the best software, the best hardware off from the shelf in 5 minutes, thanks to cryptocurrencies. Recently, IMF is working on that their standards, okay, I've got a signal now. So this was all very basics I could trigger in the morning. And Faisal always give me the honor of triggering this dialogue. So I'll be sitting there, I'll be listening to all of you, and before lunch, we'll try to conclude all these things. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Ammar. Thank you.